All right. Comparison and order of operations with fractions. Let's start with comparison. Whenever we're comparing a set of fractions, we are trying to determine which one is larger than the other. Now, sometimes it's obvious when you just look at these. You see that 2/11ths versus 6/11ths. So the denominators are the same. And remember, the denominator is the whole. So if I had 11 cookies and you got 2 and I got 6, we know that the 6/11ths is going to be the largest because you got the most there, right? However, if you look at B, the denominator here is 16 and the denominator here is 15. So the wholes are different versus the parts. Sometimes it's obvious to determine which fraction is larger versus the other one, but it's not always that way. So what if I said 13 divides 16 and I write it in decimal form? I know that the 13th 16th gives me 0.8125. If I take the 13th 15th and divide it, it's going to give me a decimal number of 0. I'm gonna round 0.867. So if I was to compare these two fractions, I'm going to say the 13th 15th is the larger one, because if we compared it to money, this would be about 86, 87 cents, where this would be about 81 cents. Okay. So I'm going to let you do the other comparisons just to check. Ask me questions. D asks you to arrange the smallest to the largest. I'll allow you to do it. E is finding the markings on this ruler and mark the largest to the lines. We can work on these in class. Let's go to order of operations. Order of operations has a set rules that we have to follow in order for us all to come out with the same outcome. So for example, if I decided I wanted to follow my own set of rules when shopping, I can go to Walmart and buy 4 buggies and tell them that I only owe $5 because I followed my own rules, when everybody else is following a set of rules, so we all be paying the same amount for the same product. So order operations is a must. Okay. So order of operations says that we are first to clean up the parentheses, brackets, anything inside. And then we're going to do exponents and powers and so on. And then we have our parentheses, we have our exponents. Then we're going to have multiplication and division. These two are like siblings. And when we read left to right, remember we always lead left to right. Whichever one comes first, the multiplication or the division, is the one we're going to do first. And then next, we're going to move to addition and subtraction, and they follow the same set of rules. They are like siblings. Whichever one comes first is the one we're going to do first. Adding, subtraction, reading left to right. So let's start on this. We have this complex operation going on because we have division, we have multiplication, we have addition. There's no parentheses and no exponents. So the division is going to come first. So let's do that. I have divided by 3/4, and we're going to bring down this add sign. Guys, if you want to do this multiplication here in this next set, you can. Just remember, we have to do the multiplication before we did the addition. So if you could do 2 steps in one, I encourage it. If not, let's just stick with the order. So whenever we divide a fraction, we know the first term stays. We change the division to multiplication, and we flip the second. And when I do this, I see that I have 2 goes in itself once and goes into 4 2 times. And I have 1 times 2, 1 times 3. Bring down the addition, and let's do the multiplication. But before we go, do you see that we have 5 over 5? It reduces down to 1. 1 times 1 over 6 times 1. Now let's add. In my denominators, I have a 3 and I have a 6. 6 will go into itself and 3 will go into 6. So that means we only have to change this one, because remember, adding and subtraction, we have to have common denominators. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. So whatever I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. So I have 2 times 2 is 4. Plus that 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. 6 is my final answer. All right. Let's go ahead and do B. I'm going to leave some for you to practice on and ask questions on later. So I'm going to bring down my first term, 9/10 minus. I'm squaring everything inside this parentheses. So I get 1 squared is 1, 4 squared is 16, because that's the same as saying 4 times 4. Okay. Plus that 1 half. Now we got it written as subtraction plus. So reading left to right, the subtraction is going to come first. So I also noticed that the denominator has 10, 16, and 2. So they're not all the same denominators, and so I can't add or subtract without having a common denominator. So let's do that. We have 10. So if you need to, come over here, 10, 16, and 2. 10 we know is 2 times 5. 16 is 2 times 8, which is 2 times 2 cubed, which gives me what? 2 to the 4th total. And then this is 2 to the 1st. So what do I know? I know that I have a base of 2 and a base of 5. So I know 16 times 5. What is 16 times 5? It is 80. I know that 10 will go into 80, 2 will go into 80, and so will 16. So I need to change them all. So I need to figure out 10 times what gives me 80? We know 8. So what I did to the bottom, I do to the top. We just figured out 16 times 5 gave me the 80. And 2 times 40, right? Gives me 80. Now I have 9 times 8 minus 1 times 5 plus 1 times 40 all over 80. So 9 times 8 is 72 minus that 5 plus 40 over 80. So now I'm going to say 72 minus 5 gives me 67 plus that 40. So it gives me what, 107? And if you're ever in doubt, just, go ahead and double check. It's 107. And this doesn't reduce. All right. Let's try F. I want you to do some of these on your own. So let's do F right quick. So F says we're going to square this first. This parentheses. So I got 3 squared over 5 squared times 2/7 plus 3/5 divided by 5/2. All right, let's do it. 3 squared is 9. 5 squared is 25 times that 2/7 plus 3/5. Now, some of you are going to do multiple steps in one. That's fine. Just be very careful. I'm going to go ahead and multiply across. I have 9 and 2 over 25 and 7. They don't reduce. So 9 times 2 is 18. 25 times 7 is 175. Plus, all right, so I got division fractions. We're going to keep the first. We're going to change division to multiplication, flip the second. We're going to reduce if possible. We know that, oh, I kind of got carried away there, guys. That doesn't reduce. My apology. Let me undo this. I don't know. Kind of got carried away here. Undo. All right. So nothing reduces here. We're left with 18 plus 18 over 175 plus 3 times 2 is 6 over 25. All right. Our common denominator here is going to be 175, right? We figured out what to go. 25 times 7 gave me that. And now I have 18 plus 42 all over that 175. And then 18 plus 42 gives me 60 over 170. And this does reduce at least by 5, right? So 5 goes into 60 12 times. 175 divided by 5 is 35. Will this reduce? Well, 35 is 7 and 5. 12 is 2 and 3. So no, this is my answer. Try the rest and let's talk about it in class.